Joe does have a fifth watch. He does. He has an Apple Watch, and at his age, it might not be a bad idea. The watch will say, Joe, you're still alive. Joe, it's time for your nap. Joe, it's time for your nap again. And Joe, it's time for bed. When I first started looking at Joe Biden's watch collection, I was extremely impressed. He might be an old fart, but he's got great taste in watches. He's also got an extremely modest watch collection. Before we get into this video, I thought it'd be interesting to see Joe Biden in action.
Although the strength of the American economy it's about the strength of the American economy. Not this stuff was shipping was not up 150,000, 75,000. We to keep getting prices down.
He might be the President of the United States. He might be Joe Biden. He might be a snappy dresser, but he's not the full shilling. I'm not age bashing. I'm just saying that it's not a bad thing that Joe is moving on. This is a watch collection video, not a political video. Without further ado, let's get into Joe Biden's modest watch collection. Let's just start with the cream of the crop first. Joe Biden has a Datejust 41 Rolex on Jubilee. It's a smooth bezel on Jubilee. It's a dress watch, an all everyday watch, but looks best with a suit. Timeless design with an MSRP of £7,300. On an oyster bracelet, it's $7,100, but I really do think that the Jubilee bracelet looks a lot more smarter. Spoiler alert, it's the most expensive watch in his collection. The Rolex is said to be a gift from his wife and part-time carer, Jill Biden. Hello? Black. Nobody knows. Nobody knows whether Joe Biden's Datejust 41 is blue or black. I don't know. Do you know? Let's move on to his next watch, an Omega Speedmaster. To be precise, reference number 311-30-42-30-01-006. I know, guys, it's ridiculous, but that's how Omega does it. The Moon Watch. Joe is a big fan of NASA. During Joe Biden's time as the 46th President of the United States of America, he has actually increased funding for NASA because he's an extremely big fan of NASA. So it's perfectly natural for Joe Biden to have an Omega Speedy in his collection. The first Omega in space, the watch that is famously worn by Ed White and multiple astronauts. The only other president to own a Speedy was Richard Nixon. Sadly, Richard Nixon returned the watch. It was a gift from Omega, but he deemed it too expensive as it was a solid gold watch, so he returned it to Omega. You can clearly see that Joe Biden likes Omegas. Joe Biden also likes the working man. He is the same as everyone else. The fact he's a multimillionaire is irrelevant. Joe Biden is from Scranton or wherever he is at that moment in time, and when he's out with the people, he's wearing his Omega Seamaster. He actually wears that watch in blue collar areas deliberately. Joe Biden, power to the people. Joking aside, it's an amazing watch. It's a Seamaster Diver 300M. And what's odd about this is Joe's gone for the 36mm, which is quite small on the wrist, guys. It's called the mid-size. What's also odd about this is Joe Biden has gone for a quartz watch. He has gone for a mid-size 36mm Omega Quartz Seamaster Diver 300M. The specific reference number that he owns is the 2531-80-00, a blue watch, a pre-ceramic bezel. The actual GoldenEye watch. Would you believe the Pierce Brosnan watch was actually a quartz watch? So Joe Biden has a tiny bit of cool in him. His fourth watch, it's horrible, but he loves it. He's had it for decades. He was wearing this watch in the 90s. He was wearing this watch before a lot of you were even born. It's a Seikko 7T32-6M90 chronograph. An absolute horrible two-tone watch. And he's worn it for decades. I did some digging and you can buy this watch for $200 in the open markets. It's still available. It would probably cost more to have it fixed if it broke, but hey, he loves the watch, and it's the fourth watch in his very small and modest collection. Joe does have a fifth watch. He does. He has an Apple Watch, and at his age, it might not be a bad idea. The watch will say, Joe, you're still alive. Joe, it's time for your nap. Joe, it's time for your nap again. And Joe, it's time for bed. Very handy for a senile old fart. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion of Joe Biden. It's not his fault. He's just extremely old, and it's time to retire, Joe. Only joking, Joe. Joe, wake up, Joe. Joe, wake up. Okay, Joe's fallen asleep, so we'll continue the rest of this video without Joe, guys. I was extremely impressed with his collection. Just think, he has a Rolex Datejust 41, an automatic watch, a bulletproof dress watch. He also has an Omega Speedy manual winding, a gorgeous watch, if you ask me. The first president of the United States to actually own and wear one. And he has an Omega Seamaster, a quartz Seamaster, the GoldenEye. Those three watches alone are the perfect watch collection. If you just put the other two to one side and you do the combined value of his collection, apologies for this interruption, but Brenny forgot Joe Biden's sixth watch. Yet again, Joe Biden has another Rolex, a Rolex OP celebration dial. This watch, well, not really. It was an April Fool's joke by a watch enthusiast around Watches and Wonders. If you see this picture of Joe Biden wearing said watch, you now know it's a fake. Over to you, Brenny. And you do the combined value of his collection, it is just above $15,000 for a multi-millionaire, soon-to-be ex-president of the United States. That's an extremely modest, subtle, and envious watch collection. You may not have my vote, Joe Biden, but you've got taste. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and I'll catch you on the next Brenny video.